السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. وقل رب أدخلني مدخل صدق وأخرجني مخرج صدق واجعلني من لدنك سلطانا نصيرا. So last time we started talking about the name of Allah, الرقيب, the all-watching, and we said الرقيب, the one who watches and protects us with full caution and awareness. And we talked about the verse وهو معكم أينما كنتم, and he is with you by his knowledge wheresoever you are, you may be. And we talked about that Allah knows everything about us. Allah knows even the secrets that are inside our souls. And we talked about the iceberg. We said that the iceberg is like 10% over the sea level and 90% below the sea level. So this is actually how most of us do. Like, we are trying to perfect what is apparent to people, and hopefully it is the same as what is hidden, because for Allah everything is the same. Like, the 100% are apparent to Allah and they are transparent to Allah. He sees everything and He knows everything. We talked about some stories of people that knew the name of Allah, Raqib, and applied it in their lives. And we said the one beautiful verse, يَعْلَمُ خَائِنَةَ الْأَعْيُنِ وَمَا تُخْفِي الصُّدُورِ. Allah knows the fraud of the eyes and all that the breast conceals. So any like peep from your eye or any like look you're trying to steal, Allah knows it. And everything that goes into your chest, Allah knows this. Even if you don't say it loud, Allah knows what is going on. So today, inshallah, and we give some examples of how to apply it in our life. And today, inshallah, we continue about the different ways or means of watching. So Allah, of course, is enough. Allah is watching us, and He is the all-watching. إِنَّ اللَّهَ كَانَ عَلَيْكُمْ رَقِيبًا. Surely Allah is ever an all-watcher over you. But Allah has made different means for us, like as watching us. The second thing, that Allah has ordered angels to watch us. ما يلفظ من قول إلا لديه رقيب عتيد. Not a word does he or she utter, but there is a watcher by him ready to record it. So we all have two angels that are writing everything we do. And we said watching has both meanings. It's watching for bad deeds and for good deeds as well. So we shouldn't all the time be fearing the name of Allah, the all-watching. Sometimes we should be happy that He is watching our good deeds. So we should be happy and proud that Allah is watching our good deeds. And there is one story about a man that came to a righteous man called Ibrahim ibn Adham. And it is not a hadith, but it is a wisdom. And he was asking him, it is a nice thing, because he's asking him to give him a permission to disobey Allah or to make sins. So the righteous man told him, okay, it's okay to do sins, but if you do one of the following 5 things, or if you are able to do one of the following 5 sins, then you can do whatever sins you want. So روي أن رجلا جاء إلى إبراهيم بن أدهم فقال له يا أبا إسحاق إني مسرف على نفسي فأعرض علي ما يكون لها زاجرا ومستنقذا لقلبي. A man came to Ibrahim ibn Adham and told him, oh Aba Ishaq, his nickname, I do a lot of sins, so tell me what keeps me of doing sins and saves my heart. قال إن قبلت 5 خصال وقدرت عليها لم تضرك معصية ولم توبقك لذة. قال هات يا أبا إسحاق. The righteous man said, if you accept 5 things and are able to do them, then do whatever sins you want, and you will not be harmed by your sins. The man was happy and said to him, okay, tell me these 5. He thought that he will be able to do anything, any sin he wants. So قال أما الأولى فإذا أردت أن تعصي الله عز وجل فلا تأكل رزقه. قال فمن أين أكل وكل ما في الأرض من رزقه. قال له يا هذا فيحسن أن تأكل رزقه وتعصيه. قال لا هات الثانية. So the righteous man told him, the first one, if you want to disobey Allah and make sins, then don't eat from His sustenance or from His food. The man said, then where should I eat from? Everything is from Allah's sustenance. Every food on the earth is from Allah's sustenance. Then the Ibrahim ibn Adham told him, then don't you feel ashamed that you eat from his food and his sustenance and you disobey him and make sins? He said, no, then give me the second. He still has some hope. So he told him, قال وإذا أردت أن تعصيه فلا تسكن شيئا من بلاده. قال الرجل هذه أعظم من الأولى يا هذا. إذا كان المشرق والمغرب وما بينهما له فأين أسكن؟ قال يا هذا أفيحسن أن تأكل رزقه وتسكن بلاده وتعصيه. The second one, Ibrahim told him, okay, if you want to disobey Allah and make sense, then don't live on the earth of Allah. The man said, oh, this is harder than the first one. Where shall I live then? Everything from east to west is belonging to Allah. He told him, then isn't it good, or don't you feel ashamed that you eat from his food and you live on his land and then you disobey him? The man still has some hope. He told him, قال لا هات الثالثة. قال إذا أردت أن تعصيه وأنت تحت رزقه وفي بلاده فانظر موضعا لا يراك فيه مبارزا له فعصيه فيه. قال يا إبراهيم كيف هذا وهو مطلع على ما في السرائر؟ قال يا هذا أفيحسن أن تأكل رزقه وتسكن بلاده وتعصيه وهو يراك ويرى ما تجاهره به؟ قال لا هات الرابعة. He asked him about the third one. He told him, if you want to disobey him and you eat from his food and you live on his land, then find for a place anywhere that he doesn't see you and then do whatever sins you want. He told him, oh Ibrahim, how come? And he knows everything. He knows the secrets that are inside us. How he doesn't see me in any place on the earth? He told him, then isn't it bad that you eat from his food and you live on his land and you do sins while he is seeing you? He said, no, it's okay, give me the force. قال إذا جاءك ملك الموت ليقبض روحك فقل له أخرني حتى أتوب توبة نصوحة وأعمل إلى الله عملا صالحا. قال لا يقبل مني. قال يا هذا فأنت إذا لم تقدر أن تدفع عنك الموت لتتوب وتعلم أنه إذا جاء لم يكن له تأخير فكيف ترجو وجه الخلاص. He said, he is asking for the force. He told him, if the angel of death comes to take your soul out, then tell him, wait a second or wait a while, give me some chance to repent to Allah and do some deeds, some good deeds. He told him, how come he will not accept me? Ibrahim ibn Adham told him, then if you are not able to push the angel of death out of you to repent to Allah, then how do you seek salvation and you are doing sins? He still has the last hope. He told him, give me the fifth. قال هات الخامسة. قال إذا جاءتك الزبانية يوم القيامة ليأخذونك إلى النار فلا تذهب معهم. قال لا يدعونني ولا يقبلون مني. قال فكيف ترجو النجاة إذن؟ قال له يا إبراهيم حسبي أن أستغفر الله وأتوب إليه ولزمه في العبادة حتى فرق الموت بينهما. So he asked him for the fifth one. Maybe he has one hope. He told him, if the angels on the day of judgment come to take you to the hellfire, then tell them, don't take me and don't go with them. He told him, how come they will not leave me and they will not accept it from me? Then he told me, then how you seek salvation and you are doing sin? Then the man desperately said, oh Ibrahim, that's enough. I will seek forgiveness from Allah and repent to him. And he stayed, like he kept on worshipping with him till death separated them. So this story and this wisdom shows us that whenever we go, we cannot be like we cannot forget the fact that Allah is watching us. Whenever you go, whenever you plan, some people actually plan to do sins. They know that they will go tonight to a place that it is all full of sins, and they insist on going there. So this is the second way of watching us, which are the angels. The third one is actually a very sensitive alert system that Allah has put inside each of us, which is your consciousness, ad-damir. Allah has put this sensitive alarm system inside each of us, and many times you might see somebody that he is not very righteous or very religious, but he knows what is good and what is bad. He knows what Allah will accept and what Allah will not accept. And there is like very wonderful hadith, and actually we should take it as a rule of thumb, narrated by النواس بن سمعان الكلابي, حديث صحيح. البر حسن الخلق والإثم ما حاك في صدرك وكرهت أن يطلع عليه الناس. Righteousness is good manners, and the evil or the sin is whatever goes into your heart or your mind and you didn't like people knowing it. So this is a rule of thumb. Like if you don't know, is this haram or halal, is this forbidden or not, then ask yourself, do you feel bad when you are doing this? Like, let's give some example. If you are at a store and you have you got like 4 bar of chocolates, and the man on the counter just counted 3, and you know he made it by mistake, it is not an offer or so, but you might say, okay, it's his mistake, I can take it and leave. But you might feel bad, okay, it's even if it is his mistake, but his manager might ask him, he might be in harm, then why should I take it? Then if you feel this, it's regardless of how much is it. Is it like a chocolate bar was $1 or something was $100? But if you feel bad, then don't do this. Then this is a thing. If you are cheating in an exam and you are preparing like a very innovative way of cheating, and you might say, okay, nobody is getting harmed. I'm cheating. I'm the one who's harming himself. Nobody is getting harmed. But don't you feel bad if the exam proctor see you, or if your parents know that you are cheating? Then don't do it. And of course, it is known that is not right. And for those who are looking at girls, or like they are not lowering their gazes and looking at girls, and they say, okay, they are the ones who should have sins, not me. I'm a youth and I cannot stop it. Then will you feel ashamed if like your advisor sees you or your parent sees you? And of course, again, this is an example that is also clear that it's not allowed. Another example, if you are selling a car and you know that it has a malfunction, it has a problem, a big problem, and you give it for the one who wants to buy it, and you give it to him to try it, and he comes back and he didn't detect the problem, then you might say, okay, it's his problem. I told him, I gave him the car and he didn't find it. But you are known to be honest, and you will not feel good if people know that you sold like a bad car. Then don't do this. And we should be able, or we should try our best not to be from the category mentioned in this verse. يستخفون من الناس ولا يستخفون من الله وهو معهم إذ يبيتون ما لا يرضى من القول وكان الله بما يعملون محيطا. They may hide their crimes from men, but they cannot hide them from Allah, for He is with them by His knowledge when they plot by night in words that He doesn't approve, and Allah ever encompasses what they do. So we have Allah is watching us, angels are watching us, then our consciousness, our alarm system, and the fourth one, if you don't repent after all of this and you insist of doing sins, then be sure that there is a day of judgment, and on the day of judgment everything will be recorded and you will find it. ووضع الكتاب فترى المجرمين مشفقين مما فيه ويقولون يا ويلتنا ما لهذا الكتاب لا يغادر صغيرة ولا كبيرة إلا أحصاها ووجدوا ما عملوا حاضرا ولا يظلم ربك أحدا. This is actually like this verse. We should all fear from this verse and still have hope in Allah's mercy. And the book, once record, will be placed in the right hand for a believer and in the left hand for a disbeliever. And you will see the mujrimeen, criminals, polytheists, sinners, fearful of that which is recorded therein. They will say, woe to us, what sort of book is this that leaves neither a small thing nor a big thing, but has recorded it with numbers. So anything, either it is small or big, it will be recorded in this book. And you will receive this book either in your right hand, inshallah, or in your left hand. and they will find all that they did placed before them, and your Lord treats no one with injustice. So the same as in our life, when somebody like breaks a red light or crosses a red light, they might send him like a picture and a video of him breaking his light, and the same thing, and Allah is able of this. You will see all your sins, all your bad deeds, and at the same time good deeds in front of you on the day of judgment. اقرأ كتابك كفى بنفسك اليوم عليك حسيبا. It will be said to him, read your book, you yourself are sufficient as a recorder against you this day. So you yourself, when you read your book, you know how much good deeds and how much bad deeds you did. And the last way or means of watching is actually your body parts. Your hands, your legs, your skin, everything will watch against you. اليوم نختم على أفواههم وتكلمنا أيديهم وتشهد أرجلهم بما كانوا يكسبون. This day, on the day of judgment, we shall seal up their mouths, and their hands will speak to us, and their legs will bear witness to what they used to earn. So your hands, inshallah, we are not among those. Your hands will speak, oh, I went that day and I stole some money that I don't have right to steal. And your legs will say, I went to that place and I know that it's full of sins and I went to that place. Even your mouth will not talk or not speak, your legs and your hands will speak. وقالوا لجلودهم لما شهدتم علينا قالوا أنطقنا الله الذي أنطق كل شيء وهو خلقكم أول مرة وإليه ترجعون. And they will say to their skins, why do you testify against us? They will say, Allah has caused us to speak as He causes all things to speak, and He created you the first time, and to Him you are made to return. So our hands, our legs, everything, our skin, and Allah is capable to make these things speak. Don't think that how can my skin speak? Allah is capable, the one who created you and made your tongue speak. He is able to, He has the ability and the power to make your skin, your hand, your leg speak about what you did. So now we move on to another point. What are the rewards of knowing Allah's name, الرقيب, and living with this name, and believing that Allah is really الرقيب and is watching us? The first thing is to reach درجة الإحسان, مقام الإحسان, أن تعبد الله كأنك تراه فإن لم تكن تراه فإنه يراك. It's the long hadith when Jibril asked Prophet Muhammad, then tell me about ihsan. He said, it is to worship Allah as though you are seeing Him, and while you see Him not, yet truly He sees you. Narrated by Muslim, the long hadith in the 40 Nawawi hadith. And so this is the first reward, is that you reach this high level of ihsan. Second reward or fruit is that on the day of judgment you will be happy, and when you take your book in your right hand, inshallah, you will be happy. فأما من أوتي كتابه بيمينه فيقول هاؤم اقرءوا كتابي إني ظننت أني ملاق حسابيا فهو في عيشة راضية في جنة عالية قطوفها دانية كلوا واشربوا هنيئا بما أسلفتم في الأيام الخالية. Then as for him who will be given his record in his right hand, will say, here, read my record. He will be happy and he wants everybody to read his record and see his good deeds. Surely I did believe that I shall meet my account. So he shall be in a life well pleasing, in a lofty paradise, the fruits in bunches whereof will be low and near at hand. Eat and drink at ease for that which you have sent on before you in the best days, in days best. So hopefully, inshallah, will be one of those who get their book in their right hands, inshallah. Ameen. And to know that Allah is watching you, you should actually be fearing Him. And this is, in general words, the general word of it is taqwa and taqillah. And has a lot of rewards and a lot of fruits, and it's actually a long talk itself. So we'll just give very quick rewards of being muttaqin lillah, or having taqwa Allah, or fearing Allah. وَمَنْ يُطِعِ اللَّهَ وَرَسُولَهُ وَيَخْشَى اللَّهَ وَيَتَّقِهِ فَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْفَائِزُونَ. And whosoever obeys Allah and His Messenger, fears Allah and keeps his duty to him, such are the successful. So imagine when Allah says, are the successful, أولئك هم الفائزون, then you will be inshallah successful in this dunya and successful in the hereafter. And there are very nice 3 verses in Surah Al-Talaq. They are all start with وَمَنْ يَتَّقِ اللَّهِ, the one who fears Allah, and whosoever fears Allah, and then they give the rewards of fearing Allah. وَمَنْ يَتَّقِ اللَّهَ يَجْعَلْ لَهُ مَخْرَجًا وَيَرْزُقُهُ مِنْ حَيْثُ لَا يَحْتَسِبُ, and whosoever fears Allah and keeps his duty to him, he will make a way for him to get out from every difficulty. So whenever you are in a difficulty, then Allah will give you a way out of this difficulty, and then He will vanishes this hardship with his ability, and he will provide him from sources he never could imagine. So sometimes you are in a financial hardship, and then you find, and your only source of income is your salary, it's regular salary, and you find something unexpected like a bonus from your manager, or like you win something that you don't expect. This is from Allah if you fear Allah. The second one, وَمَنْ يَتَّقِ اللَّهَ يَجْعَلْ لَهُ مِنْ أَمْرِهِ يُسْرًا, and whosoever fears Allah and keeps his duty to him, he will make his matter easy for him. So everything will be easy for you, or in matters. If you are going to an exam, you will find it easy, inshallah. Of course you have to study, but you have to fear Allah. And if you are going to marry, it will be easy for you, inshallah. If you are going to a new job, then the interview will be easy for you, inshallah. وَمَنْ يَتَّقِ اللَّهَ, the third one, يُكَفِّرْ عَنْهُ سَيِّئَاتِهِ وَيُعْظِمْ لَهُ أَجْرًا. وَمَنْ يَتَّقِ اللَّهَ يُكَفِّرْ عَنْهُ سَيِّئَاتِهِ وَيُعْظِمْ لَهُ أَجْرًا, and whosoever fears Allah and keeps his duty to him, he will expiate from him his sins and will enlarge his reward. So you will find your sins being wiped out, and your reward will be enlarged and being grown. Second point is, what are the consequences of not knowing and living with the name of Allah Al-Raqib? Of course we all know the name of Allah Al-Raqib, but do we really live with it? Do we really apply it in our lives? This hadith should make all of us like fear about doing sins in front of Allah. Hadith sahih من رواية ثوبان مولى رسول الله قال صلى الله عليه وسلم لأعلمن أقواما من أمتي يأتون يوم القيامة بأعمال أمثال جبال تهامة بيضاء فيجعلها الله هباء منثورا. قال ثوبان يا رسول الله صفهم لنا جلهم لنا لا نكون منهم ونحن لا نعلم. قال أما إنهم إخوانكم ومن جلدتكم ويأخذون من الليل كما تأخذون ولكنهم قوم إذا خلوا بمحارم الله انتهكوها. It's an authentic hadith narrated by Thawban, a servant of Prophet Muhammad, that Prophet Muhammad said, I know some people out of my ummah that will come on the resurrection day with good deeds as big as the white mountains of Tihama. These are very big mountains, and they have like white cap. Then Allah turns these deeds into dust, all these big deeds into dust. Then Thawban said, O Messenger of Allah, he was worried, describe them to us, explain to us who they are. Hopefully we are not some of them while we don't know. He was worried that he might be, and the companions might be among those, and they might not know. The Prophet said, they are your brothers, and they are like you. They wake up at night to pray. So look at this, they are like you. Prophet Muhammad is talking about the companions. Look at what level of worshipping. They are like you, like in worshipping, like as the companions. And they even wake up at night to pray for Allah. But when they are alone, nobody sees them, they cross the limit. They do things that Allah has forbidden. انتهكوها إذا خلوا بمحارم الله انتهكوها. So only this thing makes all their good deeds vanishes and be like dust on the day of judgment. This is one consequence of not knowing or not living with the name of Allah Al-Raqib. And the other one is, inshallah, we don't be like them, or we don't be one of them, those who will get their book on their left hand. وَأَمَّا مَنْ أُوتِيَ كِتَابَهُ بِشِمَالِهِ فَيَقُولُ يَا لَيْتَنِي لَمْ أُوتَ كِتَابِيَهْ وَلَمْ أَدْرِ مَا حِسَابِيَهْ يَا لَيْتَهَا كَانَتِ الْقَاضِيَةَ مَا أَغْنَى عَنِّي مَالِيَهْ هَلَكَ عَنِّي سُلْطَانِيَهْ خُذُوهُ فَغُلُّوهُ ثم الجحيم صلوه ثم في سلسلة ذرعها 70 ذراعا فاسلكوه إنه كان لا يؤمن بالله العظيم ولا يحض على طعام المسكين فليس له اليوم هاهنا حميم ولا طعام إلا من غسلين لا يأكله إلا الخاطئون. But as for him who will be given his record in his left hand will say, I wish that I had not been given my record. He wishes that he has not been given his record at all, and that I had never known how my account is. Would that it had been my end, death. My wealth has not availed me. My power have gone from me. He is trying to make arguments to defend himself. It will be said, seize him and fetter him. Then throw him in the blazing fire. Then fasten him with a chain whereof the length is 70 cubits. Verily he used not to believe in Allah the Most Great, and urged not on the feeding of the poor. So no friend has he here in this day, nor any food except filth from the washing of wounds. None will eat it except the khati'un, the sinners, the disbelievers, the polytheists. And after saying this, we should again make it clear and emphasize that watching is not only for bad deeds, it's as well for good deeds. So watching, Allah is also watching your good deeds, and it's a kind watching and nice watching. If somebody is a candidate to work in a fine position like in the government or an embassy or exterior ministry, he might be like watched to make sure he is good person and he fits here. So imagine that you are a candidate to enter paradise, and Allah is watching you and making sure that you really deserve to enter paradise. And of course Allah knows everything beforehand. Another good point about it is that knowing that Allah is watching you, you don't need to explain a lot to Allah. When you are making dua, you know Allah is watching you and knows everything about you. So imagine if you go to your work late and you have to explain to your manager or your boss, oh, I really waked up early, but I found my kid very sick, so I went to him with the hospital and so on. So you should tell him a very long story. But when you are with Allah, because He knows everything and He knows whatever you have went through, so you can just say, of course you can explain to Him, but you don't need to. And you can even just cry in front of Allah, and He knows what you are crying about. And the other nice thing about watching, or the name of Allah, the all-watching, is that He's watching your intentions. So if you have an intention, a good intention, and you are not able to fulfill it, then Allah is watching this, and inshallah will reward you about this intention. So one example, if like a young girl has an intention that inshallah when she will get married and give birth to a baby, she will raise him very well, and then till he is an adult and he is like a righteous person and he is helpful to others and so on and so on, and she has a lot of dreams and sincere intentions, but she was not blessed with the blessing of kids or babies, then Allah inshallah will reward her with her intention. So this is just was about the name of Allah Raqib. So inshallah hopefully we apply it in everything, and we said it can be applied in all our life. It can be applied on the student who is cheating in an exam, the adult who is looking at girls or is not lowering his gazes, the one who is selling something with a problem. You can apply it in many things. The man or the guy who is talking to a girl and saying unlawful things to her, even with her approval, but if his parent or her parent knows this, he will not be pleased. The one who is looking to his neighbor, female neighbor, and he is hiding and making sure that nobody sees him, but Allah seeing him. Any like mechanic that fixes your car and make like a problem in it just to come back to him. You can apply it in many ways in our life, and hopefully inshallah we live with this name Al-Raqib, and eventually inshallah we'll be among those who get their book in the right hand. اللهم اهدنا فيمن هديت وعافنا فيمن عافيت وتولنا فيمن توليت وقنا واصرف عنا برحمتك شر ما قضيت فإنك سبحانك تقضي بالحق ولا يقضى عليك، وإنه لا يعز من عاديت ولا يذل من واليت. نستغفرك اللهم ونتوب إليك ونؤمن بك ونتوكل عليك. أنت القوي ونحن الضعفاء إليك، أنت الغني ونحن الفقراء إليك، أنت العزيز ونحن الأذلاء إليك. اللهم إنا نسألك حبك وحب من يحبك وحب عمل يقربنا لحبك. اللهم ارزقنا تقواك ومراقبتك، اللهم ارزقنا تقواك. اللهم ارحمنا فإنك بنا راحم، ولا تعذبنا فإنك علينا قادر. يا رب اللهم تقبل منا هذا واجعله في ميزان حسناتنا، واجعل حجة لنا لا علينا، وعلمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا. وآخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين، وصل اللهم وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما كثيرا.